So good evening everyone. I am the first reporter of our group. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Rizal Himaya from BSBE2N. Today, our topic is all about talents and skills of Jose By the way, who is Jose Rizal? Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonsorio Londa, or better known as Dr. Jose Rizal, is considered a national hero of the Philippines. He is one of brave Filipino who fought for the freedom of Philippines, not through violence but through words. Si Jose Rizal hindi kailanman gumamit ng kanyang dahas para ipaglaban ang Pilipinas, pagkos ginamit ng kanyang kakayanan para isulat ang mga nararanasan ng mga Pilipinos sa panahon ng mga Spanish. So he became known for his words, no limitang here, or sa English, touch me not, and el filibusterismo, the reign of greed, where he revealed the violence, corrupted, and evil practice of Spanish farias and official. Rizal was born on June 19, 1861, and was shot in Bagumbayan on December 30, 1896. Jose Rizal a lot of talents and skills. So, number 1 is geographer. Rizal legacies is relief map of Mindanao, which he used as motivating device in teaching history and geography to the town folk. Ang relief map ng Mindanao sa Dapitan City, Philippines ay matatagpuan sa tapat ng St. James Church. Ang entrance door ay may label na Mapas sa Mindanao, hinimo ni Dr. Jose P. Rizal. Ang kabuuhang lawak ng lupain sa relief map ng Mindanao ay humigit kumulang ng 900 metrong kwadwado. At ang kasama ni Jose Rizal sa paggawa nito ay si Father Francisco de Palua Sanchez. Ang masining na pagpapakita nito ng isang maayos na pagkakataon ng ginawa ni Dr. Jose P. Rizal noong Agosto 1892 patay sa mapa na ginawa ni Francisco Pedro Merelio Velarde, isang French Jesuit noong 1752. Si Father Francisco Palua de Sanchez ay paboritong guro ni Dr. Jose Rizal sa Ateneo de Manila, kung saan siya nag-aaral noong 1872 and 1877. Hindi lang mapa ang ginawa ni Jose Rizal, kundi gumawa rin siya ng plano tulad ng Pacific Ocean Spheres of Influence, made during the administration of Benjamin Harrison. Mentioned by Rizal is his article, The Philippines a Century Hints, made in London in 1889. The Lake District of Central Luzon, mentioned in Memorias de un Estudiante de Manila, 1872. So, Plan of Water Works in Dapitan, made with Father Sanchez in Dapitan, 1895. Sketch of Lumanao Hills where jewels like found, owned by Ateneo, made in 1895. Linguist. Rizal was fluent in 22 languages, which is Tagalog, Ilocano, Bisaya, Subanon, Spanish, Latin, Greek, English, French, German, Arabic, Malay, Hebrew, Sanskrit, Dutch, Catalan, Malian, Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, Swedish, and Russia. Businessman. He had a partner in Dapitan in Abaca business there in 1892-1896. One of the industry, Rizal engaged in business in partnership with Ramon Calyon on May 14, 1893. In a Dapitan merchant which has a profitable business ventures in fishing, copra, and hemp industry. He also invited his relatives sa Torma and Hidalgo to come to Mindanao for more business opportunities. Fencer. In France with European and Juan Luna and either friends in Europe. fencing a sport practice at the time only by the Ilustrados Integracia. At hindi lang fencing a sport na gusto ni Jose Rizal, magaling din siya sa arnis di mano or stick fighting, dumog, wrestling, suntukan, boxing, at isa na dito ang fencing. Easiest. Aside from being the national hero of the Philippines, Dr. Jose Rizal also a prolific writer of different variations of literacy materials. Rizal wrote essays primarily to express his advocacy. So, first yung gihimo is El Amor Patrio, the love of country. It was the first article Rizal wrote in the Spanish soil, written in 1882, published in the Yarong Tagalog in August. He used the pen name Laong Laan. So, sa English, ever prepared. By laying for this article, and he sent it to Marcelo H. del Pilar for Tagalog translation. Sulat niya during Spanish colonization and reign over the Philippines island. The article aimed to establish nationalism and patriotism among natives. Rizal extended, he called for the love of country to his fellow compatriots in Spain, for he believed that nationalism should be exercised anywhere a person is. To Revista de Madrid. This article written by Jose Rizal on November 29, 1882 was unfortunately torn to him because the Yarong Tagalog was ceased publication for lack of funds. Articles in La Soledad, Los Agricultores Filipino, the Filipino Farmer. This essay date March 25, 1889 was the first article of Rizal published in La Soledad. In this writing, he dedicated the deplorable conditions of Filipinos farmer in the Philippines, the backwardness of the country. A la defensa, to La Defensa, it was in response to anti-Filipino writing by Patricio de la Escosora, published by La Defensa on March 13, 1889 issue. Within on March 13, 1889, the article refuted the views of Escora, calling for the leader's attentions to the odious influence of the friars to the country. Los Viajes or Travels, published in La Soledad on May 15, 1889. Article tackled the rewards gained by the people who are well-traveled to many places in the world. La Verdad para Todos, the truth of all. Rizal countered to the Spanish charges that the natives were ignorant and depraved. On May 31, 1889, it was published in the La Soledad. Novelist. Jose Rizal wrote the two famous novel, which is El Filibusterismo in Spanish title, which is known in English as Rain Grade. Noli is the love story or a romantic novel dedicated to our motherland, which El Fili is a political novel associate with revenge and dedicate to Cumborza. His novelist, Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, warn of perils of using violence to solve the social and political ills of the Philippines. Noli Me Tangere, the first novel by Jose Rizal, was printed in Berlin, Germany. Noli Me Tangere, 1887, which translated to Touch Me Not in Latin, and a novel written by Filipino writers Jose Rizal. The novel tells the story of Don Crisostomo Ibarra and the young man of Filipino and Spanish descent who returns to the Philippines after 7 years trip to Europe. Noli Me Tangere characters. Maria Clara, Padre Damaso, Kapitan Tiago, Crisostomo Ibarra, and the last one is Elias. El Filibusterismo. It is the second novel written by Jose Rizal as a sequel to No Limitangere. Like No Limitangere, it was written in Spanish. Rizal dedicated El Filibusterismo to the three martyred priests of Cavite, Motini. The execution of the three priests was significant to the title of the novel. Rizal took 3 years to write his second novel. Rizal began writing El Filibusterismo in October 1887 while he was in Calamba. Na-publish ni siya noong 1891. Unya, ang gigamit nga language ang Spanish. Nasundan ani nga novela No Limitangere. So, mao ni ang mga karakter sa El Filibusterismo. Si Simon, Kabisang Talis, Isagani, Basilio, Julie, Padre Florentino, Father Fernandez, Padre Camora, Hermana Penchang, Tandang Celo, Father Irene, Hermina Bale, Pixon, Tadio, Juanito Pilais, Pipay, Makaraig Tano, Bensainab, Leeds, Redoval, Doña Victorina, Kapitan Tiago, Placido Penitente, Don Timoteo Pilais, Father Milon, Quiroga, Tiborcia de España, Paulita Gomez, Padre Salve, Don Custodio, Gobernador General, and Father Hernandez de la Saila.
Everyone, my name is Filomena Dihon from BS Bay 82M. Today, I am going to report about the talent and skill of Rizal. So, according to my research, Rizal was a polymath with the ability to master various skills and subjects. So, si Rizal ay isang polymath na may kakayahang makabisado ang iba't ibang skills and subjects. So, ang dami niyang talento, no? So, napakatalino niya. Isa sa mga naging naging talento niya is being an actor. So, he acted as a character in one of Juan Luna's painting and acted in school dramas. So, gumanap siya bilang isang character sa isa sa mga Juan Luna's painting at aktibo din siya sa drama sa paaralan. So, napaka-aktibo niya sa mga drama sa paaralan. Ang dami niyang So, naging anthropologist din siya. He made researches on the physical and social makeup of man. So, gumawa din siya ng mga pagsasaliksik sa physical at panlipunang anyo ng tao. Archaeologist. Okay. Anthropologist. Archaeologist. Okay. Archaeologist. Rizal studied monuments and an antique currency. So, Rizal studied monuments and antique currency everywhere he went. He drew most of monument he saw. So, si Rizal ay nag-aaral ng mga monumento at antigong pera kahit saan siya magpunta. Iginuhit din niya ang karamihan sa mga monumentong nakita niya. So, inventor. He invented cigarette lighter which he called sulpacan and sent it to Blumentritt in 1887 as a gift. So, while in the Pitan, Rizal also invented a wooden machine for making bricks which turned out about 6,000 bricks daily. So, nag-imbento siya ng sigarilyo na tinatawag niyang sulpakan at ipinadala niya ito sa Blumentritt noong taong 1887 bilang regalo. Habang si Rizal naman ay nasa dapitan, nag-imbento din siya ng makinang gawa sa kahoy. So, gumawa siya ng nag-imbento siya ng makina na gawa sa kahoy para sa paggawa ng mga bricks na aabot na 6,000 bawat araw-araw. So, musician. Musician. Okay. Musician. So, he played the flute and composed pieces of music and cultural music appreciation. So, isa sa mga naging naging kanta niya o tinugtog niya ang Kundiman, Alinmang Lahi at Yunor. So, yun nga, tumugtog siya. Tumugtog siya ng flota at gumawa ng ilang piraso ng nilinang ang pagpapahalaga ng musika. Pagpapahalaga sa musika. So, ito yung mga tinugtog at gawa niyang kanta. So, ito yung Kundiman, Alinmang Lahi at Yunor. So, yan yung mga gawa niya. So, gawa niya at tinugtog niya. So, newspaperman. Newspaperman. So, he wrote and published articles in many publications and was one of the organizers of the La Solidaridad. So, siya din ay sumulat at naglathala ng mga artikulo na sa maraming publikasyon at isa siya sa mga nag-organisa sa La Solidaridad. So, isa pala siya dun sa mga isa pala siya sa mga nag-organize sa La Solidaridad. So, botanist. So, Rizal maintained a garden in the Pitan where he planted and experimented on plants of all kinds. So minintain ni Rizal ang isang hardin sa Dapitan kung saan siya ay nagtanim at nag-imbento or nag-eksperimento sa lahat ng uri ng halaman. So, ang galing niya. Doon siya nag-invento. So, ang hilig-hilig niya pala sa halaman. So, Japanopel. His admiration of Japanese streets and his knowledge of the Japanese language proved he was one. So, dahil sa kanyang kakayahan or ang kanyang kakayahan sa paghanga ang kanyang paghanga sa mga katangian ng mga Hapones at kaalaman niya sa wikang Hapon ay nagpapatunay na isa siya. I think parang isa siya parang isa sa mga talento niya. Yun lang po at maraming salamat sa pakikinig at pagpapanood. Salamat po.
Hello everyone, good day. My name is Maika Oyangorin from BSBA 2M. So for today's video, I will be reporting the talents and skill of Jose Rizal. The first is conchologist. Rizal conchology, the shells collected by Jose Rizal during his exile in the Pitan, based from extant lists from Dr. Adolf B. Mayer and other European naturalists, and from the interviews with descendants of his former students. Second is commentator. Rizal always expresses and publishes his personal opinion. Third, educator. In the Pitan, Rizal established an informal school for boys in January 1894. His pupils learned through an integrated and holistic approach, developing their aptitude in reading Spanish, English, mathematics, and geometry, and physical abilities through exercise, manual labor, and even formal dancing. Fourth is physical culture. Jose Rizal was a native of the island of Luzon, of which Manila is the capital. He was therefore a Malay, with a brown complexion, black eyes, and straight black hair, which are the physical characteristics of his race. He graduated from University of Madrid as Doctor of the Medicine and Philosophy. The fifth is economic. We survey economic condition just before and during the lifetime of Jose Rizal, roughly leading to the second of the 19th century on three levels: that of the world, of the Spanish Empire, and of the Philippines. We show how in this period, coinciding with the first incipient prosperity in the archipelago, the economic and social foundations were laid for Rizal and his contemporaries to conceive of and demand greater autonomy and ultimately independence. Six is painter. In the Pitan, Rizal demonstrated his talent for painting. Before the Holy Week of 1894, Father Vicente Balaguer, a young Jesuit parish priest, was worried. He needed a good backdrop, canvas oil painting behind the main altar for the annual Lenten celebration. 7 is Father of Community School. Los Chicos de Rizal, Jose Rizal's student, and the Pitan Community School. Jose Rizal had young male students that he affectionately called chicos, or boys from his Dapitan Community School that he established while in exile. Searching for Rizal's male students was like trying to trace his children if he had any. The last one is sculpture. Few may know it, but national hero and Renaissance man, Jose Rizal was also an accomplished sculptor. It was believed that he produced more than 50 sculptures, but only 18 are identified. Jose Rizal was not just a prominent writer or thinker of his time. So, that was the skills and talent of Jose Rizal. Thank you. Have a good day.
Good morning, ma'am, classmates. I am Janice Kayag, and now I am reporting the topics all about judoka, ethnologist, book lover, chess player, agriculturist, citizen of the world, grammarian, ichtologist. And now let's start our topics. First, judoka. Rizal was the first Filipino and Malay to have practiced and in fact taught martial arts, sports. Ziguro Kano taught him the way of Ju, which means the throat of the universe. Ethnologist. In his travels, Rizal was able to compare different races and be noted the differences. He became a member of Berlin Ethnological and Anthropological Society. While under the patronage of the famous pathologist Rodolphe Virchow. Book lover. He had a big library and brought many books abroad. A favorite pastime in Madrid, he stayed at home and read until midnight. Chess player. He played chess and bear several German and European friends and acquaintances. Agriculturist. He devoted his time to agriculture and was able to bow about 16 hectares of land in Talisay. There he was able to plant cacao, fruit, trees, sugar cane, corn, and coconuts. Citizen of the world. Rizal, an early Pinoy citizen of the world, was here for only 4 days, from May 13 to 16 in 1887. And it's impressive that details of visit, including his sampling of local beer, have been well chronicled by the city. Grammarian. Estudios sobre la Tagala, which means a birthday gift for his former instructor, Father Chanchis, who visited Rizal in Dapitan. Ichthyologies. He collected 38 new varieties of fish in Dapitan. He can also know about the fishes. Among his many accomplishments, helped list the trail of ichthyologists in the Philippines.